The Khmer Rouge regime, led by Pol Pot, was one of the most brutal and deadly periods in Cambodia's history. Lasting from 1975 to 1979, this regime implemented cruel customs that resulted in the deaths of an estimated 1.7 million people, nearly a quarter of the country's population. The atrocities committed during this time were a result of the regime's radical communist ideology and their desire to create an agrarian utopia. The Khmer Rouge regime aimed to create a classless society where everyone worked in agricultural labor camps. They sought to eliminate all traces of urbanism and capitalism from the country. To achieve this, they forcibly evacuated people from the cities, including doctors, educators, and intellectuals, who were seen as threats to their vision of the society. Once in the labor camps, the Khmer Rouge implemented strict rules and regulations. They enforced long and grueling work hours, with little rest or adequate food. Malnutrition and disease were rampant, leading to widespread suffering and death. Those who disobeyed or showed any sign of opposition were subject to severe punishments, including torture and execution. One of the most infamous aspects of the Khmer Rouge regime was the widespread use of torture and execution. They believed in eliminating any potential threats or enemies, often accusing people of being spies or counter-revolutionaries without evidence. Interrogations were brutal, with methods such as waterboarding, electric shocks, and beatings being routinely employed. The Khmer Rouge also implemented a radical social engineering project to create a homogeneous society. They forced families apart, abolished religious practices, and destroyed cultural artifacts. Buddhist monks were persecuted and temples were ransacked. Intellectuals, artists, and professionals were targeted and executed as enemies of the regime. The goal was to erase any form of individuality and create a society solely focused on agricultural labor. The Khmer Rouge regime finally collapsed in 1979 when Vietnamese forces invaded Cambodia and ousted Pol Pot from power. The full extent of the atrocities committed during this time became evident as mass graves were discovered and survivors began to share their harrowing stories. The scars of this brutal regime continue to impact Cambodia today, with countless families still seeking justice and closure.